Hello, hello. I'm starting early tonight because I've got some things I need to do before the live stream. So I might as well turn the computer on. I was messing with the microphone. I got it on backwards so I don't hit it while I'm napping. Maybe, hopefully that works. So it used to be on this side, but I switched it to that side, but it's on backwards so it might fall off. So, hey, Alan Cole, you've been waiting? Jim Main is here. I'm going to be doing some stuff. Uh, So don't mind me. I'm just going to change out this little sign, and I'm going to open up some packages I got because I'm going to do some unboxing on the live stream. Sounds good. Okay, good. Well, well, well. Tommy Taylor's here. TJ's New Life is here. Eric is here. Hey, Blanco E25. His name is Eric. Brandon is here. Everybody's early. Hold on a second. I want to do some stuff before I get started here. Let's see. Let me move this lamp. Yes. Oh, dang. Look at all that dust. I got a layer of dust on top of that box. Look at that. Okay, anyways. So, I mean, you can start chatting if you want. Hey, Marty's here. Buckskin NYB. Charlton Diaz. Scott Diaz, San Diego. Awesome. David Daly. Edward Astrop. Haven't seen you in a while on the chat. Isadora's here. Dang it, everybody's showing up. Look at that. How's the weather over there? We're getting cold at night. It was like 20 some odd degrees last night, but it's supposed to be warmer tonight. Yeah. It's not supposed to be freezing tonight. Where did I do the sign? Uh, yeah. It's raining right now still. I mean, it's been drizzling for the past couple hours. You can look it up. Bellows Falls, Vermont. Just say, hey, Google, what's the weather in Bellows Falls, Vermont? Bellows Falls. Yeah, I don't care. You guys know where I live. I got skunks defending the house, so no one can be sneaky. Wait a second. Did the light turn off? Where's my light? I don't see no light. Hold on a second. We got technical difficulties. Always. Where's my light? This box is a light box, or has a light on the inside. Let's see. Why is it not on? Oh, I know why. It's not plugged. I've got a surge protector here with 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's got 16 outlets and only like 3 are open. Can you imagine how many things I got plugged in? Yeah, 13 things, dude. Just do the math. Subtraction. It's a thing. Okay, fine. So now there's only 2 open. Okay. So what else? Who else we got here? JF Baird. What time is it there? It's 11:33 a.m. here. It's 7:33 p.m. here. p.m. at night. Or 1933 for you guys that are internationals. We're not supposed to start until 8 p.m. Eastern or 2000 hours for you military types. Yeah, 2000. Let's see. Jim Cooper's here. All right, so I was just responding to an email also. Someone emailed me and asked me, when are you going to be live tonight? And I told him that I'll be live in a few minutes. So hopefully he'll show up. Yeah, Alan Cole says, Patrick has 14 things plugged in. How do I know? I don't know. It's amazing. I know you don't believe me, but I got that surge protector. I got it, what do they call those? Zip tied to my shelf right over here. my shelving, and it's vertical because I used to have it on the floor, but then it got full of dust. And when you unplug and plug in, unplug and plug in, when it's all dusty, it starts to get nasty. Anyways, it probably won't help. All right, so I got spam. Hold on a second. I gotta look through my emails. I got like all these informed deliveries on every single package, including those little spam envelopes and spam postcards or whatever they are. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. Excuse me while I move some stuff around here too. I can't have everything in my inbox that is, people from YouTube. 6:34 here. Okay, so you're Central Time. JF Baird is Central Time. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, I got this stupid Yahoo business account. It keeps charging me every year, and I never use it. You know what I mean? I can set up a store. I've got a website technically from Yahoo, but I never use it because I don't know what to put in my store because I don't have anything ready usually. What is that account? Oh, never mind. Wait a second. All right, hold on a second. I gotta check on something. It's still not 8 o'clock, so hold on a second. Good thing I checked this. Okay. I thought that's weird. So yeah, there'll be just some dead time here. Hold on a second. I'm checking all my emails like I haven't checked enough already. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see who else is here. The trolls are always throwing out ridiculous numbers. Let me see. Yeah, I rigged up the microphone to be on the other side tonight. What is this thing about ridiculous numbers? I missed it. Tommy Taylor's here. Let's see. Yeah, what in the wide world of email checking is going on here? Yeah, hold on a second. There's some stuff going on that I missed. Most of the stuff is trash, but some of the stuff I have to check it out. All right. I already know all this stuff. This UPS, I think I'm going to cancel my informed delivery from the post office. And I always subscribe to these collaboration notices. Unsubscribe to the collaborations. Yeah. I don't need those. Man, there's a ton of these. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. Ha! Joe Barry won an item. He won an item in the auction. He didn't realize that he won. Yeah. Imagine that. You win and you don't realize it. What's going on, guys? Let's see. Hold on here. You got to watch the auction closely. Yeah. See, I shipped the item to him today. Or no, today is Friday. I shipped it to him Wednesday. No, Tuesday. And he didn't know that he had won until now. Okay. Or I guess that email is from yesterday. Let's see. I think that's it, right? That better be it. What else have I got notices for? So have I been napping today at all? Nope. I was supposed to nap a lot today, but I didn't. Yeah. So what have I been doing all day? I was thinking, should I tell them what I've been doing all day? Should I tell the guys what I've been doing all day? No, but I'm going to anyway. Hey, Flint Snapper is here. I keep missing the live streams. I found this one by chance. Well, every Friday until further notice, and I'll give you a warning. Every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I have a live stream starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, this time I'm a little bit early. Anyway, I also have live streams on Mondays and Wednesdays. Now, I've had some financial emergencies, right? So I may have to delay my trip to Texas. I may not be able to go for Christmas. Yeah. So we'll see. Financial, they're not emergencies, they're unexpected expenses. Yeah, I hate those. Yeah. And I might have to delay my trip to Texas until the spring where I go to the next nap-in. I wanted to go see family during Christmas, but I might not be able to. Let's see. Yes, I saw somebody make a harden, or somebody show a harden point on the community posts. Triple flow harden, right? Was that you, Marty, that posted that on the community? Let's see. Oh, and before I start, also, still got like 18 minutes. I'm going to be opening some packages. I got some packages. This one is from Carrie Voss from Victoria, Texas, and I got a package from Sal that I'm going to open up. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be doing that before the live stream officially starts. We're still in the unofficial limbo stage right now. Okay, so let me check the community just in case I missed something. If you don't know how to check the community on my channel, just ask one of your kids how to do it. Yeah. Okay, so I saw Jesse's post with all those little arrowheads. I saw Harley's or Smallzilla's post with that little miniature opal arrowhead. I should show you guys when I'm doing this. See, there's a little bitty opal arrowhead by Smallzilla or Harley. Get closer, dude. I can't see nothing. Yeah, I know. And it's kind of blurry too, I bet. Those are Jesse's arrowheads. So I've seen all these already. Yeah. And I hit the like button. See, I'm hitting the like button. Make sure you do that. When you see these, don't just scroll by and go, I'm too lazy to. Oh, I can't hit the like button. Oh, never mind. But I can scroll. Yes. I just can't hit the like button because I don't know why. It's one of those things that's just hard. It's kind of like a force field around it. It's impenetrable. See? But I can do that. I can scroll. You making fun of us, dude? Yes, I am. Ooh, I can see myself. Look, see, that's me. I can see myself. Yeah, I can see how much of a goober I am. Sometimes I can't see myself when I'm doing a live stream. All right, who else we got? Should I start the unboxing? Yes, I shall. I shall start. I should and shall. I should and shall? Yes. I still am working with the lighting. I tried turning lights on and off, but I get blurry. If I dim it down any more than this, it gets blurry. So I might dim it down while I'm showing it. I mean, I could turn this thing off. Yeah, but see how it gets blurry when I move? But I'm not going to be doing napping right now, so that might work a little bit better. Let's see. Let me open this without ruining it. Ooh, I got to. He put the label on the other side? Okay, that's fine. Let's see here. It seems to be well packaged. The post office didn't destroy it. Oh man, what is this? It's asphaltum. That's what it is. Asphaltum from Texas. Texas asphaltum. What is asphaltum? It sounds obscene. Sounds like it has something to do with ass. It's not my fault. It's your ass. Asphaltum. No, it's not that. It looks like it's a pile of you know what, but this is very, very cool. Yeah. See, asphaltum is brittle and not gooey. In most cases, it's brittle and kind of crumbly. You have to mix it with something in order to get it to be a good glue. So yeah, thanks. And he put in a little set of calipers. It's stuck. Oh, there it is. Okay, calipers. I like calipers. Aha, alligator gar scales for arrowheads. See? Oh, these are kind of glued together somehow. So they're stuck together. Oh, yes. They're kind of stuck together. But you know what alligators' gar scales are, right? They're already in the shape of arrowheads. They're slightly curved. Come on, come on, come on. They're slightly curved. Let's take one at a time. Well, that one's pretty straight. These are pretty straight, actually. But they're already in the shape of arrowheads. They got the little tang. You can use these for arrowheads. All right. Some of these are stuck together with some skin still on them, I guess. That's pretty cool. I have some other ones, but they're not as flat as these. These are the good ones. These are flat. Awesome. And I'll scrape some of that flesh off of there. Some of these still have flesh on them. All right. Or skin or whatever it is. So these are chunks of asphaltum, and what do? What you do is you just melt them down, right? Then you add in some other stuff. What other stuff do you add in? Well, I like to add in modern resins and polymers, but for the natural asphaltum, you don't add anything. Some people will add animal fat to it, but that to me, when I do that, it just makes it more crumbly. It makes it easier to apply to your arrowheads or to your knives or whatever if you add fat to this mixture. But when it dries, it's even more crumbly than this. And this is pretty hard. Now, you can't add beeswax for Native American stuff because Native Americans didn't have beeswax until the Europeans brought over the honeybees that produce lots of beeswax. There are bees that produced wax in the New World, so to speak. There were bees that produced wax, but they weren't like producing a ton of it, just little bits that were not able to be used for, this kind of stuff. and it wasn't the same kind of wax that melts really easy. Okay, so what do I do? I have mixed the asphaltum with pine rosin, but I also have to add in some pine tar. So asphaltum plus pine rosin plus pine tar can make a glue that is, soft when you apply it. It's not hard. It's not difficult, let's say, to apply when it's hot. This stuff, when you heat it up, gets all bubbly, and when you apply it, it's like applying something bubbly. It doesn't work really well. It has to flow or it has to be solid without bubbles in it. So you got to heat this up for at least 30 minutes and watch it bubble for a while. And you add the other stuff in, the pine sap or the pine rosin and the pine tar in there. That makes an okay glue, except what the pine rosin does is it lowers the melting point. So if it's in a hot place, like a hot car, it's going to ooze. It's not going to be that great. Asphaltum by itself can handle higher heats if you don't mix it with anything. Uh, if you don't mix it with like pine rosin lowers the melting point. Adding fat to it lowers the melting point. The only thing that does not lower the melting point on this stuff is if you add charcoal or sand or rock dust or something. I wouldn't recommend adding sand to it, but rock dust, yeah, it can make it kind of stiffer and it can increase the volume of it because this you can't really gather all that much of this. So to increase the volume of it, you add rock dust. Let's see. Hey, Sal's here. Yeah, Edward says, "Where's the box opening flake? I don't use flakes for the box opening. No, this is my flake. Why do I do that? Because I spent a lot of money on this. Yeah. Why do you spend money on that when you know you've got lots of flakes, dude? I don't know. Good question. I don't like using flakes. That's just me. They get dull like within 5 seconds. That's the main reason. Hold on a second. Let me put this down so I can cut these flaps off. Yeah, I cut the flaps off of the box. All these boxes I get in the mail. What did I miss? Peter Cohn is here. Let's see who else. Mike Mason, Ferdo Joe, Bushy's here. Everybody's here. How many people? Already got 31 people and it hasn't even started yet. Holy moly. You guys. All right. What is this? What did you put in here, Sal? What did you put in here? I'll show you in a second. I'll show you so you know what I'm looking at. I just got to cut these little flaps off. And the stone flake isn't that great for this to, take this off. Okay, so I'm excited. We got this. And look how this it was tossed around, so it created a void in here. I bet you it was very well packed when it left Sal's house, but it rolled around in here and created a little void. Let's see. Come on. There it is. See? So I've got this. It feels like obsidian. Yeah, I think it is. Or, yeah, I think it's obsidian. Hold on. What else? This? That's it, right? Stuff for auction. Brokes and bifaces. Hopefully that obsidian didn't bang into this. Hopefully they didn't. They didn't drop this from 3,000 feet and from a helicopter. Yeah. Knowing the post office, they might have. Yeah. Do they still hire Vietnam vets to fly these helicopters? I don't know. They think they're still on a mission. They'll drop it from 3,000 feet. So, yeah, it'll survive. Yeah, just drop it in there. What is this? Oh, okay. Broke some bifaces. This is all stuffing. Whoa. Whoa. Hey, why do you wrap them in cellophane? Who else does that? I don't know. Let's see what they are. I need to show these on video, but not this cruddy video. These live stream videos, the resolution is all cruddy. So let's see. Come on, I pushed the button. Okay, so that one, it looks like it had a broken barb. I'm not going to show them all, but you can see. Yeah, see, it has a broken barb. So that's a broke. So they're all kind of similar. There's a couple bifaces in here. It says high-grade Texas raw biface. Excellent. I might even use this. I've got a box of bifaces ready right there. I can just use it. Amoeba rough. I'm going to use these, Sal. I'm not going to sell these just like that. I'll make some stuff. This is a broke. It doesn't look broke. Where is it broken? It'll be broken when you drop it. Yeah, okay. I'll be careful. It doesn't. Oh, yeah, okay. You blew out a side of that barb or a side of the notch. Let's see. One of the notches is bigger. I assume that's why it's broke. Yeah. It's a box from Sal, in case you don't know. Sal in the chat, which is it doesn't say Sal, it says Flakes Blades and Points by SGP. Rockin' Pop's Adventures is here. Stacy's here. I just finished feeding Maggie May, my rescue dog, so I can tune in. Yep. Let's see. Mike Mason says, hey, gang, I'm done with the Brady Bunch bit. Nice. Yeah, 17 likes. Where's Keith with his hounds from Hades? Bill Taylor says, hey, Patrick and everybody. I made it. Yes, you made it. The live stream will start in 2 minutes. Flake Scarred says, reporting for duty. Mike Mason, my uncle was 101st Airborne when they told him to jump out of the plane. He became a mechanic. Yeah, okay. Sal is me, says Blades and Points. So remember, Blades and Points is Sal. He sent me this and that looks like that big lump of obsidian. So let me make sure I don't drop this. Okay, take this out. Take this out. I have some little bins. Where are my little bins? Oh, I don't have them available. Where do they go? Oh, there they are. Hold on a second. I bought some little bins. Little plastic bins. Yeah. So I can put this in there. Why is it all blurry? Because I turned the light off so we can see what's going on. Except when I move, you can't see what's going on. All right. So this says Flint Ridge broke. It's a heat treat. All right. I like it. Rainbow obsidian. It's a broken piece. All right, so I will put these in the auction as brokes. So not this one though. Not that one. I might rework this one because it's got such nice barbs on it. Yeah, I might just rework it. All right, so that's what I think. That's what I'll do on that one. Okay, I might rework the obsidian one too. No, I don't know. We'll see. Flint, no, Knife River, heat treated. Okay, I might rework this one then. Then no, you can't see all these. Uh, amoeba shirt, tough. Okay, tough. I assume it's difficult to nap. Okay, that rainbow obsidian, I know that one. Knife River, heat treat, Flint Ridge. Okay, I've seen all these. Okay, so this can go in the trashiola, and these, I'm going to use these for packaging for my own stuff. Yeah. Now, what is this? This is still from Sal's box. Oh, wait a second. It's not obsidian. Someone said mookite and it went over my head. So yeah, this looks like mookite. I thought it was obsidian. Oh dang, this is a huge piece of mookite. What, you want me to nap this on video? Holy moly. Look at this. It's red, it's yellow. If I turn the light on, you can't see it. So I'll move it slow so that it doesn't get blurry. So it's got yellows, it's got oranges and reds, and it's got a huge mass. This is a big, gigantic piece. How am I going to spall it? You'll see. It's even got some white on this side. I didn't know mookite had white, large white areas like that. It's got like a moss agate looking pattern on some of it. But you'll see in a different video. I'll save this for a close-up video. Yeah. Not for the live stream. Live stream lighting is really bad. I've got to spend some time developing a better lighting system. I had some unexpected expenses, so I'm probably going to have to push the new light system further down the road, kick the can down the road a little bit more before I get those new lights. So I have to get dimmable lights, and then I have to get lights that'll shine in from different areas. And then depending what I'm working on, I've got to be able to change the lighting depending on the color of the item I'm working on. So sometimes I need more light, sometimes I need less light, depending on what I'm working on. And sometimes I got to change the camera settings on the fly. See, the cameras are not built for filming Flintknapping. Let's see. Hey, Gary Reed is here. Let the show begin. Yes. All right. Rockin' Pop's Adventure says modern gun deer season starts here tomorrow, and I'll send you a picture of a monster buck. Are you making a hunt this season? Yeah. I'm thinking of going in December back to Texas. I already hunted in Texas last month, October, and I didn't get anything. But I came home with lots of meat, at least 40 pounds of deer meat, and I got some rabbit meat too. I was thinking of going again in December, but I had some unexpected expenses, so I might not be able to make it. Okay, Sal says Marty sent me and you a piece. You wanted the yellow. Yes, okay. That's why I got that one. Now I remember. Yeah, now I remember everything. Yeah, that's what I do. I remember everything. Let's see. Mike Mason says, hey, I think I remember there being in Sal's video. He was saying something about trying to give you the hard stuff. I see. Yeah, just I'll take the crackly stuff. No problems at all. Okay, so where do we got? Jake was to have his mentor this evening. Was supposed to have his mentor. Hey, Ed Gould says Jake was supposed to have his mentor this evening. Who's his mentor? Yeah, TJ's New Life says Mookite is Australian, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's from your neck of the woods. Although you're probably like, 10 hours away from the Mookite or more. Bill Hansen says, I'll be bow hunting in Pennsylvania next week. I gotta visit Bushy and see what's going on with him. If I don't go to Texas, I can just watch him hunt. I don't care about shooting a deer, but I'll take the meat if you got any leftovers. So Ed says, I'm not sure of his name. Yeah, I'd like to know who Jake's mentor is. Let's see. Come on up, says Bushy. I will. I was thinking of going before I go to Texas. Now I think I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go because I might not be able to make it all the way down to Texas. Yeah. Hey, Mitchell Martin, $10 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Jack Crafties. This is for the new lighting fund. Oh, thanks. Awesome. Yeah. See, I had to set up several different lights. I've got, let's see. Not only what I do now, I set up many different lights. You can see this one. I do need that one. And there's one big one over here, another smaller one over here. So I got two big ones on top. I've got this one right here that shines on my work, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. I'm going to have to get another arrangement like this, but all of them dimmable and all of them able to switch between harsh lighting and soft lighting as far as the color, from stark white to like a yellow or like a more natural color light, and just experiment with all that depending on the color of the stone that I'm using. Now, when I'm doing a close-up video, the regular videos that I do, I don't have that issue. But when it's far away like this, there's something weird that goes on with the lighting. All right, let's see. Jake's mentor is Lewis. Who is Lewis? Let's see. The lighting is real good on the TV, but not the computer. I see. So if you watch this on TV, it's better. Yeah. Mitchell's a badass, that's for sure. M Money. Cool. Thank you. All right, so yeah, I'm going to be spending some money on lighting to get this straightened out because it's driving me up the wall. Not having good lighting is driving me up the wall. Yes. And I got a new camera too, but I got a wrong cable for it last time, a data transfer cable. For some reason, it doesn't transfer the data, so it's an older camera, so I've got to make sure I buy the right cable. Let's see, Buckskin NYB. He didn't say his last name. He said he was the guy who got Jake started into napping. I see. All right. Well then, cool. So watch, you can split your screen, right? And then you can watch Jake's live stream and tell me what's going on over there too. At the same time, if it's going on tonight. I don't know if he's got his going on the same time as I do. Bill Taylor says it looks good on my TV and not so much on my phone. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so what am I going to map? Everyone got the scoop on the asphaltum, right? So we got Texas. You don't know what asphaltum is? Some guys don't know what asphaltum is. It's a very common glue back in the day, and it came from the ocean in most cases. It happens when oil leaks to the surface, or petroleum leaks to the surface, usually under the ocean. and then it washes up on beaches. But it can also be found in tar pits and stuff like that on land, right? And he finds these in these little nodules. He finds the asphaltum in these little nodules. So I don't know if his river tumbled or what. Anyway, this is going to be interesting to work with because asphaltum was one of the primary glues back in the day because it was very plentiful. Yeah. Today, every patch of oil has been tapped. Okay. All the surface petroleum and all the surface asphaltum has already been removed because it's worth money. Right? All the big surface, all the big sources. But back in the day, you could find a lot of it just laying around in certain areas, just like you can find flint. So asphaltum was a very common glue back in the day. And you mix it with other stuff. So asphaltum is rarely found as a glue by itself, unmixed, but it is found that way sometimes. Okay. And I looked it up also. I looked up if Native Americans used birch tar or made birch tar. And apparently they did not. That was a European thing. And it's made from or made by a process called destructive distillation, where you have to heat it with something like bury it in the ground, heat a fire, and put a fire over the top of it, heat it so air can't get to the birch bark, and the birch tar comes out of it. So you have to catch the birch tar somewhere. So I'm assuming since Neanderthals were doing this 200,000 years ago in Europe, there must be a simple way to do it. So I'm thinking that you just dig a pit and you leave the bottom open and you put birch bark over the top of this little bowl type depression in the ground. You put layers of birch bark on top of it and then a layer of dirt and then build a fire on top. The heat from the fire hits the birch bark and starts to, cause the destructive distillation or turning the birch bark into, what do they call it? It turns the birch bark into charcoal, but the tar drips out before it turns to charcoal. So I'm assuming that after the fires died down and after the birch bark has turned to a charcoal, they unbury everything and then you got a little blotch of birch tar down in the bottom of the pit or the depression in the ground. I'm assuming that's how they used to distill it. So they might have to line it with clay or something to prevent the birch tar from seeping into the earth or something. Anyway, it was made back in the day for, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of years in Europe, but not in the New World. So you don't mix this with birch tar. You can mix it with pine pitch and spruce gum and other resins that can be heated and softened with heat and mixed together. And that's what they usually did because this stuff is crumbly. Asphaltum is crumbly. It's not like a gooey substance. It flakes. It's very similar to like lignite. Do you know what lignite is? It's a type of coal. Okay. It feels very similar to lignite, but lignite is harder to cut like this. Okay. But it has that same shiny surface you can't see. When you cut into it, it produces a shiny surface, and it's very brittle. It's not gooey like you might think. All right, okay. But I'll do some videos on it. This is going to be good. I have some other asphaltum that came from California. It's very similar, but it's in bigger blobs. And I've been using that for hafting some knives and arrowheads. But I'll make a new batch out of this stuff. Okay. New batch of crafty asphaltum glue. Let's see. Someone's talking about not trusting farts. What movie is that? Anyway, that's from like a Jack Nicholson movie. Let's see. Char cloth will mess you up if you smoke it. I don't know if that's that's a play on words or what. Mike Mason, I'm not even 50, Gary, but I know what the gambling is about. Okay. I'm missing some of the chat, but that's all right. Ed Gould says turtle farts. What is a turtle fart? Ed, I'm sorry. Most of your comments are going over my head. Yeah, it's past 8. I should be napping. Okay, yeah, I get the hint. No one said, hey, man, you should be napping, but someone did mention that it's already past 8. Yeah. Right, Ed? Someone mentioned that it was already past 8 o'clock? Yeah. I can't nap without my lucky apron, though. And I can't nap well. I can nap, but it's not going to be napping well. Yeah. Okay, so what am I going to nap? I had something lined up. Oh, yes, I remember. I'm supposed to be napping some Texas Road Rock. Okay? Remember from the bucket? I got some Texas Road Rock. How about we start with some Georgetown, see how that works? Yeah. You can't see anything, I know, but you might be able to see the angles. Get your angleometers out and calibrate the angleometer. Yeah. I got to put my keys. Okay. See, my key fob, I get distracted. My key fob's not working right, so the car unlocks itself and then relocks itself. It unlocks and relocks itself. It's got a short circuit or something in it, and it's driving the neighbor crazy because the lights come on the car, and then they go back off, and they come back on, and since we're so close, the lights, will shine into the windows and stuff. Anyways, you don't need to know any of that, so forget I said anything. Yeah. So you get your angleometers out. Let's dim this down a little bit. Shall we? Shall. See, if I dim it too much, I get a lot of blurring. See that blurring? But if I don't dim it down, you won't be able to see anything. I can show the flake scars okay? Yeah, okay. So this looks like Georgetown, but it's got crackles. Still can't see. It's got a very crackly surface. And you might be thinking, why can't you just have this lighting over here, dude? Why does it have to be up here like that? Well, I'm getting light from this one up here on this, but it's casting it directly down. So you still can't see the top, but you can see shadows. The reason why you can't see anything from here is because it's shining directly onto the work. So I can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So it's got crackles. All right. Those aren't crackles, dude. Those were just cracks. Cracks. Get your pronunciation right, dude. I watch my own videos and I'm going, why do I goof around so much? It's just fun to goof around. That's it. All right. So just so you know what I'm working on. But it is supposed to be pretty good stuff. Yeah. Why is this supposed to be pretty good? Because I spent money on it. It better be good. Yeah. And if you're new and you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, is he going to explain everything? I hope he explains every single strike, every single angle, where he's striking, how ground down is it, and how much force is he using? What's the weight of the bopper? What's the weight of the work pieces? What's the sizes and all that? And what is the potential flake path? The path of the potential flake. What is all that? Guess what? I'm not going to do any of that. Oh, dang it. Next. Unsubscribe, unlike. Where's the like button? I'm going to unlike it. Yeah. Why don't I do any of that? Because I do that in my regular videos. Yeah. I do discuss it sometimes as far as the angles go and the amount of force I'm using. You should be able to get some of that information from this. But even if I told you everything, it still doesn't help your napping. It gives you an idea, but you've got to actually practice. Yeah. And you're not going to be able to turn your box of expensive rocks into nice arrowheads when you're brand new. So don't buy expensive rocks in the beginning. Go to Knappings and hopefully get some free flakes. Maybe you have a buddy that lives in a place that has rocks that you can nap. Get some of those. Get 5 full 5-gallon buckets of rocks and nap all of those down to gravel and useless flakes, and then ask your questions. Because then you'll get a feel for the stone, and you go, okay, I see. I'm making gravel, but now I kind of understand that the angles vary, the material varies, the tools vary, the skills vary. Everything is variable. Now I get it. That's why you can't be specific, because everything's variable. Yes. But until you understand that, you won't get a benefit from what I'm telling you. Because I'll mention something and you'll go, I did that angle, I used that force, and I had the same area, and it was ground down exactly the same, and it was very similar to the type of rock that you got, and it was Georgetown and everything, and I did it, and it didn't do it. And it laughed at me. You can't do this. Yeah. Okay. I know. I've been there. To get stuff like this to make arrowheads out of later is not easy to do, especially to get them nice and flat. Why and how did I do that? Believe it or not, I don't know exactly. It just comes with practice. Okay? I know that doesn't help you, but it's true. Okay? It's true. I don't know exactly how I do it. And I take chances too. Sometimes I don't follow my own rules. Yeah. Sometimes I don't grind it down when I should. Sometimes I hit a spot where I say, oh, wait, why did I hit there? Why did I hit that spot? And I had to consciously make a decision to correct myself. Sometimes I'm tired and I forgot how to Flintknap. My brain's not remembering properly because I'm tired. And I'm forgetting how to Flintknap. Yeah. And people are trying to learn. And they're going, what's that? Wait a second. Yeah. So just be aware that even if I'm the same guy, my skill's going to vary from video to video, because depending on how tired I am and so forth and so on. It's a probabilistic skill, and many things are variable. On top of that, you can't guarantee where the flakes are going to go. You can also not guarantee the consistency of all these things, especially if you want to use like antler instead of copper, like most new guys. The antler is a lot more variable than the copper. So that's an increase in the number of variables. And even the temperature and humidity affects antler. Temperature and humidity affects antler, but guess what? It does not affect copper. Doesn't matter how cold it is. Doesn't matter how humid it is, or not humid or not cold. It doesn't affect the copper. So if you're messing up, it's not the copper. Okay, but if you're messing up and you got antler, it could be the antler that's messing you up. Copper will not crack, but antler will. Copper will not have soft areas and hard areas like antler. Just as an example, okay? And some guys say, "Yeah, I know all that. But if I just know all the scientific stuff, I can nap. Yeah, just tell me what's scientific." Like the archaeologists, they tell me everything that's scientific, and according to lithic studies experts, I should be able to nap, but there's not enough of those on the line, so I need more. Yeah, doesn't matter how many of those tell you what's going on. You still won't be able to nap until you have some practice. Okay. There's some incipient bulbs of percussion too. On the surface, you're going to get like impact fractures. Is that what they call them? Impact? Yeah, impact fractures. And they sometimes you have these little bulbs. If it impacts a good flint or a good chert, you're going to have these little bulbs of percussion. And you got to get rid of those because I call those incipient cracks or pre existing bulbs of percussion from nature. Other rocks hitting this as it tumbles in a stream or whatever. Sometimes it falls out of a cliff and bangs itself around on rocks before it settles and it has impact fractures. Yeah. Those are not weathering cracks in many cases. Those are impact cracks. But there can be weathering cracks as well. So big chunks of this stuff will have water in it. And as the freeze and thaw cycles occur, you're going to get some areas that crack, especially on bigger pieces. Smaller pieces are less susceptible to cracking. Bigger pieces will oftentimes have bunches of cracks, and it's not because of rolling in streams or whatever. It's because of weathering. It can also be from pressure of stones above, on top of the formation. It can be exerting pressure on flint and chert that cause cracks in it too. Okay. But none of that's going to help your flint knapping. I'm just letting you know why there's cracks in there. That'll mess you up. It'll mess you up. But it won't help you to flint knap better. You just got to have to be aware that that's what's messing you up. So I'm trying to get flakes that are reasonably sized so I can use them later for other things. This seems to be a really good piece, as long as it's not cracked. There are some issues in some areas, but hopefully I can get those out. Yeah, that's what I like. So a lot of times I'll just look around for opportunities, right? But sometimes I look for a very specific area to hit. Like right here, that looked like a pretty good platform, plus, or a pretty good striking area. Plus, there was the mass that I needed to remove. Okay. And I wanted to go clear across as much as possible to get as big as flake as possible. And that's what it did. And just by luck, it intersected that area that had the bulb of percussion from nature, and it ended up being a really nice big flake. Okay. How did I do that? With lots and lots of practice previous to this. All right. So I can use this as something. And like I said on many videos, this technique where you do the large flake over the surface is part of the Levallois flakes and the Levallois technique. Okay. It's useful for this kind of stuff to get useful flakes from a core like this. Okay. All right. But you try not to overshoot it because, contrary to popular internet culture, overshots are not good. This channel does not support overshots in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. You may want to change the channel. If you like overshots, you're not going to like this channel. Okay. What's an overshot, dude? Oh, don't worry. You'll find out. Yeah. Don't rush it though. It's not important. Just know that's not good. Yeah. Someone will say, "Yeah, he told me it was not good," and then some cool guy on the internet, someone I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know him, but he said that overshots are cool, and he was a cool guy. So I guess overshots are cool, right? Because this random cool guy on the internet said they were cool. Yeah. One of these days you'll learn. Some of the smarty pants will go in. It's not just random guys that say it's cool, dude. Yeah, I know. I know. There's a culture surrounding the internet napping scene, I guess. Not everyone agrees with me, and I don't agree with everybody. Just because I'm a flint napper doesn't mean I agree with everybody that naps. And everyone that naps doesn't necessarily agree with me. So that's another variable in the whole equation or the whole situation. Yeah. So you might say, well, some guys will teach in certain ways, you mean? Some guys will teach in one way and some guys teach in a different way? I mean, different methods and different ideas? Yeah, definitely. Well, which one do I follow? You don't. You develop your own style. You can follow some things, but if it's not working, if you're doing it and you're messing up and it just seems like it's ridiculous, try something else. You try your own way of doing it. Yeah. You don't have to follow the way I do it. In fact, I encourage you to try other methods. See which ones you like. Yeah. And don't get flakes in your mouth. I usually ignore those on a regular video, but I just got showered in the face. Why did it shower me in the face with flakes? I don't know. Sometimes instead of flakes going this way, they also fly up in weird ways. So yeah, wear safety glasses. I'm wearing reader glasses so I can see. But if you can see really well, still wear glasses of some sort because the flakes in your eyes are no good. Nope, it's not a good thing. All right. And the dust is something to pay attention to as well. Don't breathe too much of the dust. Have some ventilation or filters or whatever. Rock dust is more hazardous than glass dust or obsidian dust. Remember that rock dust is what's hazardous and gives you silicosis. Okay? Obsidian dust can give you lung problems as well, but it doesn't give you the same severe silicosis as rock dust. All right? Why is that? It's because of the chemical reaction. This is a crystalline format of the molecules. The obsidian and glass is amorphous. It's not crystalline. Okay, so it's a different type of molecular structure, I guess, and it reacts with the lungs differently. Rock dust is more hazardous than glass or obsidian dust. Just keep that in mind. Okay? So if you're somebody that naps only rocks because obsidian is stupid or glass is stupid, just be aware that you're putting yourself in a situation where you're napping something more hazardous than glass or obsidian. Okay? All right. What about ceramics, dude? I only nap ceramics like plates and casserole dishes and toilet tanks and floor tile. Hmm? What about that, smarty pants? Yeah, that's also hazardous, but it's a little bit less hazardous than rocks. Okay? Rock dust is the most hazardous. Okay. Any kind of dust can cause issues with your lungs, but the rock dust is what you got to watch out for, primarily. So what am I doing now? I I got to remove the rock dust from the copper. Rock dust does get embedded in the copper tips or in anything. It can get embedded in antler too, or even in hammerstones. The hammerstones can get too smooth because it fills up with dust and the particulate matter. And sometimes you've got to dress the hammerstones. Have you seen that? Where you hit, you can rub hammerstones against other stones to get a better rough surface on some hammerstones, so it'll grab the edge better. But I don't go over the natural techniques very much. I might get back into it. I just got burnt out on it. Yeah, but I'll probably get back into it eventually. I keep saying I'm going to. What have I missed in the chat? I don't know. Let me just get this napped into a good biface. Get past the easy stage. I'm still at the easy stage. I'm not sweating yet. It gets harder the thinner it gets. And if you have questions, I'm sorry I'm not really paying attention to the chat. Let's see. What did I miss? Hopefully not much. Come on. The buttons are not being pushed correctly. There we go. Let's see. Bob Chert 1. I haven't seen you before, I don't think. Yeah, Flakesguard said left side mic. You gotta like just for that. Cool, thanks. Yeah, it's on backwards, right? So I had to kind of mess around with it a little bit to get this microphone seated at the proper distance and everything. But yeah, I'm not going to be hitting it with the mallet anymore. And it's not sitting right on top of it's not sitting correctly on top of my head, so it may fall off. But I'll just deal with it. Yeah. Let me see. You guys are discussing something. I don't know. Let's see. Bob Chert 1. I'm trying. Yeah, if you have a question, please carefully type it out. Yeah, carefully type out your questions so I can understand them. I'll be blunt. Sometimes I cannot understand the questions. I've been watching some videos lately that have nothing to do with Flintknapping, mostly having to do with politics, right? But some of those live streamers that do politics, they are not gentle with their chat section at all. They don't care. They'll see people on there that are acting foolish, and they won't blow it off. They'll start attacking. They'll go, "You're just a stupid blah blah blah." And it's like, dang, dude. Yeah, people are signing into the chat. At least let them, blow off some steam or whatever before you call them stupid. Let's see what they have to say first, a little bit, before you start yelling and screaming. I mean, dang. I mean, it's entertaining. It's drama. Some of these other YouTubers that do the live streams, lots of drama, which I mean, they get a lot more views than I do. Maybe I should do lots of drama, but no, I don't know. I'd like to see it play out a little bit before I delete you. What's going on with this guy? Yeah, maybe he's misinterpreting something, or I'm misinterpreting something. I don't want to jump the gun too fast. All right, so now it's getting kind of thin. but the edge is still kind of thick. Hold on. So I'll show you how I'm doing here in a minute. This is actually really good stuff, but I don't know if it's Georgetown. It does look like Georgetown. Yeah, it probably is. What is Georgetown? It's Georgetown flint from a certain area in the Edwards Plateau. It's a Central Texas chert, or it's actually a true flint. Some people love it. I think it's a little bit too finicky, and I don't like it anymore. But I'll nap it because it does respond well. Yeah, it gets a little bit too crackly sometimes. And with this piece, that wasn't very large, and it looked like it had been tumbled. I see a lot of existing cracks in this. Yeah, that I'm trying to remove those first, and sometimes the biface gets a little wonky because I'm trying to get rid of those cracked areas first, and sometimes I scoop out big areas, trying to get those cracks out. And then I look at it and I go, "Dang it! What am I going to do now?" It's all kind of weird and warped because I'm trying to nap out these cracks and these incipients. Yeah. All right, that's good. And yeah, it's probably Georgetown because it tends to dive in. Yeah. Georgetown is like that. It'll dive in a lot. And it's hard to make something wide out of it. Yeah. Because you got to really make sure you've got really good convexity. To make something wide out of Georgetown, you got to make sure the convexity is very consistent. Because any kind of weirdness in the surface will cause it to either dive or step. It doesn't like it. It's very finicky. Some stones you can be not so convex and get a good flake, but Georgetown seems to be very finicky in most cases. Not all cases, but it can be very brittle. Georgetown can be very brittle. Now someone's probably saying, "Oh dang, I just bought a bunch of Georgetown and now he's saying it can be finicky and brittle. Oh dang, I just wasted all my money. Now I have no Christmas." Not only do I not have no Christmas, I don't have a good attitude because now he says the rocks are all crummy. You don't have to take my word for it. Maybe your stuff is good. Yeah. I've just had bad luck in the past with Georgetown, but I could be unusual in that respect. Let's see. Where am I here? Where am I here? Let's see. Hey, Mary's here. She says, "I'm sorry I have been missing in action recently." Yeah, where you been? Ralph Snyder's here. Hello, hello. Mitchell Martin. Mitchell Martin. Who else did I miss? Yeah, I missed Ralph Snyder's entrance. I missed Mary's entrance. Bob Church says, "Sorry, Patrick. I was asking about Blades and Points show." Oh, okay. About his live stream. All right. Let's see. Jim Cooper says, "To be fair, trying to deal with stupid people on volatile subjects lends itself to that sort of interaction." Yeah, that's a nice way of saying that a lot of these YouTubers tell their chat guys to shut up. Let's see. He's going on now too. Who else is doing the live stream at this time? Anyway, this is what I've got so far. Okay, it's a biface in the initial stage, and now I'm getting into the thinning. What I did was I made it all nice and smooth so I can run some flakes to make it thinner. That's the hard part, to thin it without breaking it and to thin it without step fracturing. If I'm smart, I won't thin it any more than this, even though I usually thin it more than that. Like on my last biface, actually, I've been messing with those bifaces. The last two bifaces I made on the live streams, I've been messing with these and I thinned them down more. So it's not a good example, but this is I'm refining them. Okay. These are the two that I made on the last live streams. I started to refine them even more. So I could do that with this Georgetown. See how it's much thicker? I can thin this down, but it looks like I'll have to narrow it down. So if I want to keep it wide, I've got to keep it thick. So I can't do too much more napping on it if I want to keep it wide, which is fine. I can make it into something even though it's relatively thick compared to these other ones. These other ones are much easier to notch if I want to put notches in them. Yeah. Now that I've refined them. See, I've gone through the thinning stage, so now it's the finishing stage for these two. What's next on these is the finishing stages, which means I put stems and notches and sharpened edges on these. Right now, their edges are kind of sharp, but I can sharpen them even more. Okay. This is what's it called? Green bloodstone. This will be in the auction as either this type of blade or I might put some notches in it. This is a pedernales chert from Texas. These are both, well, I don't know. I think these are both raw, not heat treated stones. I don't know where this bloodstone comes from, sorry, but this does come from Central Texas, this stuff here. It has some translucency to it also. This Georgetown will sometimes have translucency as well, but not as much. Okay. I've been messing also with Coastal Plains chert off camera. Like yesterday, I napped some bifaces of Coastal Plains chert, some of my favorite stuff. Okay. When I make stuff for myself, I make it out of this stuff, this golden colored Coastal Plains chert, because it's my favorite color. Okay. But these will all be available in the auction, either finished or as bifaces, as an example. Okay. I did break one. Yeah. But this one had some issues in it. See, it had some weirdness in there. And I was aggressively smacking it. There's no defects in the stone where it broke. I was just hitting it way too hard trying to get through this mess. And it does tend to snap. Yeah. It is kind of snap in half-ish, this Coastal Plains. But when it's raw, it's tougher than when you heat treat it. All these pieces are raw pieces, I think. Well, maybe not one. One of them is not. I think this is a heat treat. This piece right here. Yeah, it's actually a swirl instead of a butterscotch like the other ones. There's a difference in these Georgia Coastal Plains cherts. I call this a swirl, and this is a butterscotch. I got this from Jeff Head. Last name Head. Jeff Head. He sells bunches of this stuff. Okay? If you need the link to his Facebook, I'll give it to you in the comment section. All right, so the next stage on this is going to be trying to thin it even more. But if I want to keep this wide, which I think I do, I'm not going to be able to thin it much more. Yeah. We'll try a little bit. How's that? We'll try a little bit. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to try anyway. Usually, I use these thinning flakes as teaching opportunities, but you can't see. On live streams, it's usually goof around time. I'll do a better job of explaining this on my regular videos. So you'll just have to see the result. you won't see the initial conditions. You won't see how much I ground it down or how convex the surface is or anything like that, or how the tooltip looks. It doesn't have to be all that perfect at this stage because it's got enough meat in there that I can mess up and still repair it. As it gets thinner, I won't be able to repair it, so I got to be more careful. Yeah, after this series of flakes that I'm going to do right now, it's going to be much more difficult to repair any further mistakes. So right now, the mistake is this is kind of lumpy and crunchy right there, so I'm going to drive some flakes there. I've already finished this side with those 2 flakes. I took some big flakes off of this to flatten it and thin it on that side. Now I'm going to do the same on this side. So 2 or 3 flakes, thinning flakes on both sides usually does the trick on something of this size. Now, if it's a bigger blade, it requires a lot more flaking, but I like working with this kind of blade. It doesn't take that much flaking. Let's see what the size is. Is it 4 inches? 3.5. 3.5 inches. This is perfect. I like working this size and under. Okay, but I still like removing large flakes from this size of biface. Yeah. Okay, let's see. This is going to be tricky. Yeah. You can't see why it's going to be tricky, but that spot is really lumpy. So if I don't do this just right, it's going to create a step fracture through that really lumpy area. How do I know to do it just right? I don't know. I just got to guess. And it looks like it's okay. Looks like it's okay. We'll see. I took a flake in that lumpy area, but it started to dive a little bit. That's the risk of hitting it really hard through a lumpy area. But it didn't dive. It just got kind of wavy. There's it. The ending of the flake, it didn't dive, but it got a little bit wavy. It dived a little bit. Yeah. That's okay. Let's see what happens with this next flake. These are very important flakes. Because if I mess up, the opportunity to repair it, it's not very good. In order to do repairs, you have to have some meat on here so you can remove a flake. If there's no meat on there and there's a mistake, you can't remove any flakes. So the mistake stays. Yeah. A lot of guys, when they're new, they don't know that, or they know it, but they don't really have it ingrained in their subconscious that you just can't expect to do very many repairs on a very thin workpiece. You want to because, you go, man, I messed up and made a step fracture. It's really thin, but I should be able to get that out of there. Yeah, no, you won't be able to. You'll just make it worse. Yep. Till you get a lot better. And set up the surface a little bit better by making it more narrow. Yep. Some guys say, no, I don't buy that. I'll never, ever make a concession to make it more narrow because I love wide points. Yeah. I'll keep it wide no matter how many step fractures I get. Yeah. Alrighty. Do it. If you like the wide, flat points and you don't mind the step fractures, you'll be in heaven. Yeah. You can do it. But if you like wide, flat points with no step fractures, yeah, you'll be in for a lot of heartache. Yeah. Until you will eventually reach it one day. But you'll be old and haggard. How do I know? I don't know. So did I do it? I did it. So I'm not going to thin it any more than that. So it's kind of comparable to the stuff I did before. Kind of comparable. Yeah, it's still a little bit thicker. This is what I just did. See that? So just a few flakes, like 2 or 3 on each side, got it down a little bit thinner, but I'm not going to push my luck. See, there's no big step fractures in the middle. There's no islands. It's smooth. Yeah. Yeah, when people buy stuff from you, they like to see a smooth surface. And I don't blame them. I like smooth surfaces too. If I'm going to buy a point, I need to see a smooth surface. Yeah. I will admit that for me, if I make one for myself and there's a step fracture, it doesn't bug me all that much. But I won't buy one with a step fracture in the middle. Yeah. But yeah, if it's for me, if I'm going to make a knife for myself, I don't really care. It does bug me to see defects in points that I have. Well, I got rid of all my old points, but I had a lot of them with step fractures. It did bug me to a certain extent, but if I see that there's no way to remove it, it's like it's okay. There's no way I could have removed it anyway. Yeah, unless I change the whole shape of it. Unless I make it really narrow, then I can remove some nasty junk. Or if sometimes there's nasty junk in the middle, what I'll do is I'll remove a lot from the base, make a concavity, and then shoot flakes straight up like a little flute. But I'll remove a lot from the middle of the base. I'll make it concave. You know what concave is, right? You just remove a lot of this mass here, and you can shoot flakes into the islands. But my typical biface is a convex shape all the way around. Everything's convex as far as the edges and the surfaces. Everything convex. From here, I can make almost any type of point. Yeah. Some people say, "Well, why don't you ever make an Andice, dude? Andices are Clovises on video." Because I don't like to make those. Yeah. I can probably start making some more Andice points and bell points and stuff like that. I got a Notchomatic. I can punch out notches. I'm just not interested in those type of points. I'm trying to reduce the stress in my life, not increase it. So I don't make Folsoms. I don't make Cumberlands. I don't make very many Clovises. I don't do first views or Edens or stuff like that or Andices. The stuff that everyone wants to see, I really don't like doing it because it's stressful. It takes a lot of time to set these flakes up, and yeah, you got to make sure each flake is very carefully done. Oh yeah, and then narrow entry notches. I haven't done that many of those. I do want to do narrow entry notching. I'm working on a couple of tools to help me improve my notching. Other than Notchomatic, I need some pressure flaking tools that work a little bit better on the narrow entry notching. I may or may not show you my new tools. I may or may not. Some people say, "Well, why not, dude? What's the matter?" I want to see if you can guess how I made it. That's what it is. Hey, detonators here? What about copper culture stuff? Uh, what does that mean? You want to see copper culture Flintknapping tools, or you want to see stuff made during the copper culture, as far as stone stuff? You want to see Flintknapping that occurred during the copper culture, or do you want to see copper culture Flintknapping tools made from copper, or both, or everything? Tell me what I don't know about copper culture. Tell me everything I don't know what to ask for. Yeah. I have made some videos on copper culture stuff, but there's a video on a copper culture pressure flaker I got from one of the books I have, and you just look for Jack Crafty copper culture tools or Tech Crafty copper pressure flaker from the Great Lakes or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember the name of my video, so it may take you a while to find it. But instead of making my tool with copper components, it has bone instead of copper because I didn't have the copper available at the time that I needed. Alan Cole says the Nacho-Matic is sold out. Dang it. Hey, Killer Cork is here. What did I miss? Well, you didn't miss too much. You only missed the first hour, and I started early, so maybe you missed some unboxing and stuff. And I napped a Georgetown biface. Let's see. Deninator says my family has a copper culture spearhead made of float copper. It looks fake, but it's all metal. It's all metalworking, I guess. Yeah, the way that they used to work metal back in the day, before Europeans arrived, was that they would find natural copper on the surface of the earth. And sometimes they would mine it, believe it or not. They did go into caves and stuff, and they did dig pits. They did dig pits to get this copper out. And then what they would do is they would use hammer stones and stone anvils and hammer this copper until it got too hard to hammer with hammer stones. Then they would heat them in the fire and it would make it soft again. And then they would hammer it some more and they heat it in the fire, hammer it some more. And they use hammer stones. Okay. Now the hammer stones would break and the stone anvils for the hammer stoning would break as well. But you had to keep replacing these stone tools. So you would hammer the copper with hammer stones. And then after you got the rough shape, you would grind the copper on grinding stones to make them smooth. Okay? You grind the copper on grinding stones. And they usually add water to it and make a slurry so it'd be kind of slushy with rock dust on the grinding stone. And they would just probably in a circle until it was smooth and then flip it over and they would make celts or axe heads. They would make arrowheads. They would make needles and awls and jewelry, masks, necklace, beads, all kinds of stuff out of copper. Let me see. Who said nacho? Deninator says, I was so confused when I saw it. I had to read up on it. Yep. Marty says he's got snow. Buckskin NYB. It's about 1 inch right now, but supposed to get more through the night. Oh, dang. Already got snow. Mitchell Martin says, I sprung the spring on my nacho. Oh, dang. Yeah. Let's see. The other Snyder makes the Nacho-Matics. Ted Snyder makes Nacho-Matics, but it's not. He spells his name different than Ralph does. Ted Snyder, his last name is Snider. Yeah. Ralph's last name is Snyder. Hope I got that right. Let me see. Ed Gould said the metal strip out of a windshield wiper is really tough for its size and makes a decent punch for notching. Oh, dang, that's a good idea. Metal strip out of a windshield wiper. Yeah, that's a good idea. It has a lot of spring to it, too, so it might actually work in that way as well. Bill Taylor says, I have been using that metal strip in the wiper for notching. It works pretty good. Well, dang, I didn't even know this. Let's see. Always save them. Yeah, I tend to use mainly nails because it's so easy to get the nails. Yeah, it's easy to get the windshield wipers too, but I like nails a little bit better. Why? I don't know. How do I know I like them better? I don't know. I just like the nails. I haven't used the windshield wiper thing. All right. Last time I bought a windshield wiper, or I bought one, it's a small one for the back window of my Jeep. And they said, okay, well, that was like, what was it, $20? But the one for the front is like $50. They said the ones for the front were like $50. I said, what the heck? What's going on? Are they making the windshield wipers out of space age materials these days? $50. Holy moly. Of course, they were probably trying to sell me a good one. High grade. If I buy the real cheap ones, they don't last over the winter. Here in Vermont, we've got lots of ice in winter, and it takes its toll on the wipers, so they were probably trying to recommend. When I went for oil change, they recommended a certain wiper, and I go, dang, $50. Holy moly. Probably worth it, though, in this weather. Man, I can't be thinning this. Nope. Dang it. I'm glad you can't see. I put a little step fracture on the edge. Trying to get it a little bit thinner. Nope. Don't be doing that. I already said I'm going to quit thinning it. So I'm just trying to make the edge a little bit nicer. Take some lumps off the edge. I need to switch to a new piece. Yeah, okay, so I'm done with this. If I keep messing with it, I'm going to mess it up. Let's see, what else do we got? How about this one here? The one that Sal gave me. Let's see. This one is amoeba, right? Let me see. But he says it's tough. Man, how do you get the cellophane so narrow? How do you do that, Sal? Mine cellophane's really thick, or wide, I should say. I don't have narrow. I wish I had a bunch of narrow cling wrap like this. All right, here we go. This is tough material, but I'm gonna try to nap it. This is a piece of Texas rock from Sal. Yeah. Hey, Clint Evans. Hey, fellas, I made it. Yes, you did. You made it with an hour to spare. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Flake Skirts. Has anyone ever tried cork as a pad material? Maybe leather covered and wood backed? As long as it's wood backed, it should work. But if it's too good, if it's too smushy, you'll break your points on it. It's got to be firm. Yeah. Don't ever make your pressure flaking pads out of anything that's squishy. And then the smarty pants will say, yeah, but I've seen people use leather in their hand, just in their hand, and that's squishy. Yeah, I don't recommend it, though. Okay, all I'm saying is I don't recommend it. You can do it. You'll see how it works. You'll see how it doesn't work, too. And yeah, some guys can use the leather pad in their hands, but then they'll show you what they're working on, and it's pretty thick. So if you want to make thin points, I don't recommend using anything squishy for a pad, and nothing flat. It's got to be domed. In my opinion, you need convexity in your napping pads so you don't snap it in half. Okay? You're going to snap a lot of points in half on pads that are flexible or squishy or flat. Okay? Unless it's really thick, then you're okay. But most guys say, I want to get as thin as possible. No excuse. I'm going to do it. Yeah. But just make sure you're using a pad that won't mess you up in your goal of thinning. Okay? All right. So I'm going to try to thin this down, and we'll see what happens. Oh, okay. Let's see. I can do it. It does flake kind of pretty good. See, I got a long flake on it, so that's a good sign. It is wavy toward the end of the flake, but it's not too bad. So I think I can thin it down. Yeah. There's a nice area on this side, but that's going to go away pretty much when I flatten it. So I don't get too attached. Whose birthday is it? Mike's birthday? Oh yeah, Mike Mason's birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Someone better give you some rock money. Somebody better. Or let you spend your own money on some rocks. What did you buy? I bought some rocks. And you better not say nothing because it's my birthday. You know, because when you're married, you'll everything shows up. Everyone's watching what you're spending. What did you buy? I'm looking at what you bought. I'm looking at the bank account. What did you buy? I bought some rocks because it's my birthday. Okay, you can't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Okay. Couldn't you just have gone down to the junkyard and got some glass bottles? No. I want some hazardous rocks. I want some hazardous silicosis creating or silicosis inducing rocks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's my goal in life. I want some rocks. Tired of all that glass. How do I know that happens? I don't know. Mm-hmm. This is kind of tough, Sal. I have to admit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it feels like the kind of stuff I learned on. Yeah. I wish I had learned on something a little easier. People say, well, you did it good, Danny. You learned on hard stuff. That's the way to do it. Now, I don't recommend learning on hard stuff. No. I recommend learning on stuff that's a little bit higher grade than the man rock. That's for sure. Maybe not top grade because it's highly expensive unless you can afford it. I'd recommend the top grade, but if you can't afford it, just try to make sure you're not napping the lowest grade. You'll thank me later. Yeah. And the new guys say, well, what's not the lowest grade? I don't even know what the grades are. I rate everything like a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. Everything. Everything's a 3. You'll have to find someone that can recommend rocks to you. Hey, Jim Cooper, super chat, $2. I use a soft leather pad. You've seen what I can do. Yeah, I see. You cheat though. Yeah. Jim Cooper's got a lot of good stuff that he's napped. Yeah. He uses a soft leather pad. Some guys can do it. You're better than I am, Jim, and you know that. Yep. When it comes to these pads, I can't use a soft pad. I snap it just by introducing the pad to the rock. Hey, rock, nice soft pad. And the rock goes, no, not that, no. I can't even introduce him. The rock starts shaking. Yeah. I'll break it on the soft pad. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. I tend to be very aggressive. That's what it is. Oh, that came out. That came out nice. But that's the good. That's the good part of the rocks. I mean, that's the good part of this rock. Yeah, look how nice that is. But it's kind of thin for making an arrowhead. But I still save those. All right, since I wiped out the best part of the stone, let's get down to business. Yeah, we don't want to nap the easy stuff, do we? Nope. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's try to get another one of those big flakes. Yes. If I say I'm going to try for it, it doesn't happen. I'm going to try for an ugly flake. Yeah, really ugly. I got it. I stepped it. Let's hold on. Okay, try for a good flake. Okay, yeah. A little bit better. I wiped it out, but it's still kind of crunchy. All right. I gotta stop goofing. Yep. Stop goofing. Make sure there's some convexity in this. Well, that napped well on that side. Yeah, this one side that's good, and then one side that's not as good. And I don't try to preserve the good spots per se, unless there's lots of room. If there isn't any room, you don't have any choice really. You've got to just try to make the flattest, straightest, smoothest possible without trying to preserve any particular area. You have to kind of go with the flow a little bit. So I don't even worry about wiping out the best part on something like this because it's already getting kind of thin. I can't be too picky. In the beginning stages, it can be a little more picky because there's room. But now as it gets smaller, thinner, there's not much room in there. So I've got to nap whatever is necessary, regardless of what it looks like. In terms of nice, so-called nice areas. I got to ignore the nice areas when it starts to get to the point where I don't have much choice. Yeah. Sometimes when you try to preserve a nice area, that area becomes really lumpy because you don't want to hit through it. You want to keep it. You want to keep that material. And then it becomes really lumpy. And you go, dang it. Everything else is not lumpy except for that one spot that's got really nice material. It's all lumpy. Why? It's nice material. Why is it lumpy? It seems like it's a contradiction in physics. It's because you don't want to hit it. You don't want to hit flakes through that nice area because you want to keep it. But then it ends up being lumpy and makes everything look bad. It's a nice looking bad spot. That's what you get when you try to preserve nice areas. In many cases, you just get a nice looking bad spot. So let's see. I'm trying to thin it. It's working a little bit. It's not too bad actually, Sal, as far as the material. I think I can get it thinned down. Sal's a good napper, so I mean, he was just being generous and giving me this stuff. He could probably get this thinned down as well. It does get crunchy and steppy though. Yeah. Yeah. But, oh well. A little bit of crunchiness doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all, right? That's what I keep telling myself. A little bit of crunchiness isn't all that bad. If I let it get to me, I'd have a nervous breakdown. Yeah. All right, that's good. Are we getting there? There's a slight curve in it, and I need to get that curve out. Which means it needs to get dangerously thin to get that curve out. Now, why did it curve? I don't know. I don't think it was curved to begin with. I think for some reason I took a flake that was a little bit too big somewhere, and I started to make it curved. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't remember it being slightly curved to begin with, but it became slightly curved. And I'm having some issues with crackling on the edge. You can't see, but I'm getting some crackling on the edge as it gets thinner. Yeah. See, I hit it with a braider just to get that crackly stuff off of there. It's a pretty substantial area that got cracked as I was hitting relatively big flakes to remove the curvature. Yeah. I'm going to need to abrade this more carefully. Just a subtle change in the way I braid it can make a difference. In this case, the subtle difference is abrading it more aggressively. It doesn't seem subtle, but it is. It's just slightly more aggressive type of abrading. Yeah, but the edge wants to crackle. That's the only thing. It doesn't like being hit all that hard. But I'm going to have to hit it hard to get those big flakes off of there. Oh, that almost did it. Let's put the flake back on there and hit it again. Wait, you can do that? Yeah. It didn't work, but you can do it. You can try. Yeah. Try or try not. There is no do. Can't guarantee. What time is it? 9:23 Eastern time. I got 27 minutes? No. 37 minutes. Yeah, I'm not going to be talking too much. Hold on. If I talk through this part, it will not lead to good things. So we got 34. We had 40 something a little bit earlier. There we go. I'm still able to get larger flakes, but it's going to be more difficult as time passes to get those. Yeah, I got a step fracture near the middle. That's not that difficult to get out because I have some opportunities from the other side. Yeah. I mean, hopefully, theoretically, with aggressive grinding, I should be able to do it. Make it a little more narrow. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. Okay, yes. So I got it to go to the middle, but it's still pretty crackly. I need to get rid of some more of that. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it that wide. Probably not. The edge is really thin, so I got to dull it, and that makes it more narrow. To get through that crackly area, yeah. Dang it. I can pick out some of that. Yeah. So I just have that a little bit left. I just picked out some of that. The base needs to be thinned down some more, so that's good. I still have some room in there, but it's a long shot, so it's not a good. That's not a good situation. Who it did it? Oh, lucky. Yes, it did it. All right, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The last flake was from right there and upwards. That last worrisome area. Okay. So how is it? Does it compare to the Georgetown I just napped? This is the Georgetown I just napped. You can see this is substantially thicker, but it's not too bad. This doesn't nap as nicely as the Georgetown. I might be able to get it a little bit thinner, maybe. I still have some good material I can nap through to get it thinner. Yeah. Yeah, let's try it. Let's nap through the good stuff. Get rid of the good stuff. Yeah. That'll make us thinner, right? Yeah. So just get rid of it. That's what I said. If sacrificing the good material makes it thinner, why not? Yeah. If that's the goal, then yes. My goal is to get it thinner because everyone wants to see that. So if I got to sacrifice the good area, I'll do it. I'm just gonna make sure I don't crack the edge to all the pieces. Yeah, that's good. Ooh, that's not good. Don't be diving on me. Come on. Don't make me get the pressure flaker out. Dang it. There it is. Let's see if we can get some thinness going on here. Yes. Thinning flake across the center. Let's do that again. Yeah. I wish. Every flake now is going to probably step. See, I just took a flake off from right there into here, but it stepped. It didn't fan out, or didn't feather out. So I gotta watch those. I picked out the remnants, but it's still this flake I took from right in here. I thought it was going to be good, but it stepped. But it was lumpy right there. So at least there's no lump. Now this is the bad side. I just took a flake off of. This is the good side on this side. I should be able to get another couple of big flakes to get it thinner. Yeah. Let's try that. Sacrifice the good area. Yes? No? I'll do it. I will do it. Some of you may die, but that's A risk I'm willing to take. Sacrifice I'm willing to make. Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Yeah. What does that got to do with Flintknapping? Yes, some of these flakes may die or mess up, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Yeah, that's from Shrek. The movie Shrek. Yeah. Oh, dang. That was close. The flake almost stuck. Is that it? Is that all I dare to do? I just took off 3 in a row. Doom, 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 somewhere in here. I think that's as far as I want to go. Yeah. What's the ratio, dude? You haven't been measuring any ratios lately. I know. I don't want to embarrass myself. Let's see. What's the ratio? 6-1? It's 60 millimeters by 8 millimeter. Yeah. 60 millimeter by 8 millimeter. What is that? Oh, let's see. 7-1. It's actually not bad. 58 times 7 is 56. I don't even know anymore. Dang it. I've been eating too many carbs. My brain is not working. I can't do any math anyway. Just to make sure. Hold on. I'm taking a break anyway because I'm pretty much finished with the bifacing of this point. So let's see. It's 9:32. Oh, I got plenty of time. I'm going to start another one. Let me see. But let's do the calculator. Yeah. 60 millimeter divided by 8 millimeter is 7.5. So 7.5 to 1. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. I like it. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's some translucency in this one, too. Yes. I don't have my flashlight. Why don't I ever have my flashlight? Because it's out of batteries. Yeah. I got to get new batteries for my flashlight. Okay, what's next? What's next, Sal? Should I do this one? Hi. Something, Texas. Oh. I've read it before, but now I guess I messed up the lettering. What does it say there? Mm-hmm. Hi, something Texas raw. I don't know. I can't read it. Maybe Sal, can you read that? I mean, can you tell me what that says? I think I read it earlier, but now I can't see. Anyway, I'm gonna try this. High grade. Okay, so it's high grade something. High grade Texas raw. All right, let's see. Yeah, dude, if it's high grade Texas raw, just make it Andice. Yeah, do it. Maybe. Ooh, this is nice. This is pretty. That's pretty. You can't see. You can't see, but it's got like this two-tone kind of thing going on. Yeah. Ooh, it looks nice. Translucency, yeah. It's got some in there. It's got some translucency to it. Yeah. What is the ratio right now? What did you do, Sal? Let's see what the ratio is. See if I can improve on it. Maybe, maybe not. 65. Let's do it. Let's do 65 to about right there. Millimeter by 9. 65 by 9. 65 divided by 9. 7.2. Yeah, you already got 7.2. Yeah, 65. Yeah. So that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. This is really wide. And you didn't get any step fractures in the middle. Yeah. I'm going to have to make it more narrow for me to shoot flakes in there. I see a little bit of crackiola pudding on the edge. I'm going to have to wipe that out with some abrading, some aggressive abrading. I don't know if I'll be able to get better than 7.2 to 1. We shall see. Yeah, I'm using the abrader like a hammerstone. Yep, for those of you who have not seen that before, the abrader can be used like a hammerstone. I don't know if I recommend it, but that's what I like to do. It wears it out really fast when you use it like a hammerstone. All right, so I'm going to use a smaller diameter. I was the whole time before using 3/8 inch diameter copper. I'm going down to 5/16. Yeah, 5/16. A little bit more than a 1/4 inch diameter. If you use a 1/4 inch diameter copper rod, and it'll bend. Yeah, that's why I don't use a 1/4 inch copper rods anymore. For this kind of thing, I use them for the pressure flakers, but not for this kind of thing because it bends too easy. Yeah, I'll use a 1/4 inch steel rod, but not a 1/4 inch copper rod for this kind of thing. Ooh, this is nice material. Yeah. Let's see if I don't ruin it. If I ruin it, it means I'm tired. Yeah, I got an excuse. If you ruin it, it's because you didn't do it right. That's the only reason. Yeah. So I got to be careful on this. If I want to try to preserve thinness, I can't be removing too much of the edge. But it is a little bit wonky. So I got to do it. Got to remove some of the edge. Yeah. Okay. I got to be delicate. Sometimes being delicate, it gets on my nerves. That's why you heard a sigh. It's like, man, I got to be careful with this. But why? Why do I need to be so careful? Dang it. Yeah, it's already thin. It goes with the territory. Yeah. That's correct. So I lost about like a 32nd of an inch all the way around, even on the bottom. Maybe even a 16th in some spots. A 16th of an inch in some spots. Yeah. Yeah, especially around the corners. Okay, I'm switching over to a larger diameter for the bigger flakes on the rod, 3/8 inch rod diameter. Ooh, that's a little bit too much there. Hold on. What did I do? I can't pick that out. Nope. Dang. I stepped it pretty good right at the tip. See that step fracture? I hope they didn't dive in. Ooh, look at that. It did dive in. I dived it. See, it dived in, and then when I hit the other side, I saw how deep it is. It's a deep dive. Dang it. Or an existing crack. That might actually be an existing crack. I don't know. I can't tell what happened there. I thought it was because of the dive, but it actually didn't dive in very far. I don't think. We'll see in a minute here if it's actually a diving flake that I just did. I still can't tell. I can't tell if that's an existing crack on this side or it was caused by this flake that I shot. I might have dived it in there. I can't tell exactly. See that? The flake I did at first on the tip to thin the tip down from here, it went this way. And I think it dived in at the end. You saw the big step. That might have caused that diving right in there. Yeah, probably did. A little bit too aggressive with that flake. All right. Let's see. So I'm just going to be trying to do damage control on that right now. Hold on. See if I can get to the bottom of that crack. That diving crack. I think I'm going to have to lose a lot of that tip. That'd be unfortunate. Let's see. Oh, well, Sal. Dang it. I might mess this up. Okay. Let's see if I can tiptoe through the tulips. I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to get through there. What is that? I don't know what it is. I don't know if I caused it or if it was there already. It looks like I caused it, but that's a pretty deep dive. I didn't hit it that hard to begin with. Yeah, so I can hit the other spots pretty hard. Nothing happens. Yeah, nothing happens. I can hit it pretty hard and nothing happens. So that's just a weird spot. I think that was a weird spot. Yeah. So hold on. I'm slowly whittling it down to get rid of it. It's getting really thin though. The other side's fine. What time is it? 9:44. We got like 16 minutes left. I'll wait though. We won't end it exactly at 10 o'clock. We'll wait a few more minutes after the live stream. Let's see. Mary says, I was stationed at Fort Hood or Fort Hold for 10 years and I had no idea I should be collecting the rocks in the field. Oh, yeah. Fort Hood has rocks out there. Yeah. Same with me. When I was in National Guard in Texas, I was not Flintknapping at all. And we went to Fort Hood, I think, 3 times. And I probably had driven over all kinds of dirt and rocks because we were up and down the hills all over the place on Fort Hood in the armored personnel carriers. And I was probably running over all kinds of dirt. Had no idea. No, no ideas at all. Yeah, you never have any ideas. Yeah, that too. So actually, I lost some off the tip, right? Like an eighth of an inch off the tip. But the crack's going away. I'm slowly whittling it down around every possible area around that crack. A few more strikes, and I should be able to get rid of any remnants. Yeah. It did create a warpage though, in a curve. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's slightly curved, but I think I can get it later. Yeah, it naps really well. I can get flakes off of it without cracking the edge. See, it didn't take much of the edge off. But it is kind of crackly in general. Let's see. And it's inconsistent, so it has this lighter area is a little more crunchy than the darker area. So when I strike this side, it creates more crunching than it does on this side. I don't know if you can see. See, the darker side, the initiation is cleaner. The lighter side is more crackly. That's pretty typical of, chert that has different colors in it. They're not the same. They're not consistent. These different colors have different consistencies in many cases, which is not bad. It's just something to get used to while you're napping it. You got to be aware of it. Then the brain takes over a lot of this, a lot of the complicated tweaks that you need to do to compensate for these differences in the stone. The subconscious doesn't do everything though. You still get step fractures because you misjudge. I still get step fractures because I misjudge the hardness or the softness of the material. I think I'm rubbing against my shirt or my jacket. All right, that was good. I'm worried about these larger flakes. Yeah, because of that. Because of the stepping. See, I just did it. I just did that. Instead of a nice flake, and the surface was pretty good. All right. Let's go, Captain Crunch. Yeah, it's very crunchy. Yep. All right. See what you got. Is that all you got, Captain Crunch? Is that all you got? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dang it. See, I tried to get rid of the stepping there. Didn't do that great of a job, that's for sure. I have to sneak up on that stuff. $9.51. I'll be saved by the bell, so I don't have to finish this. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to improve that 7-to-1, 7.5-to-1 ratio, Sal. I don't think so. Not with the time I got left. Yeah. Oh, did it do it? Oh, it didn't do it. See that? That's stubborn. But it's the transition between the two materials. That's one of the reasons why it's stubborn. Let's see if I can do something with this. I'm afraid to hit it. I don't know what it is. I might be afraid to hit this because it's something that Sal already started. I'm cheating. Yeah, I'm picking at it really, really hard. So I got most of it. It's all in this area right here. But picking at it is not going to do it. I got to run some flakes that'll clean all that stuff out of there. Yep. Come on. You're getting sticky at the last minute. Yeah. These flakes are getting sticky. I'm reducing some width. Which messes with the ratio. Yeah, I know. But I have no choice. These flakes they're getting sticky as it gets thinner. So I've got to reduce the width to beef up the edge and really power those flakes off so they don't remain sticky. I've got to really force those flakes to come off, which is kind of dangerous. It is kind of crackly. I don't know. Direct attack might not work. Oh, that helped. See, there was a high step fracture here. I don't know if you could notice it earlier. It was pretty lumpy right there, but I just hit the front of that step fracture. I still got some crunchiness in there. I'm hoping to remove with this next strike. But I think I might have to take some off the other side first, move the edge more toward the obstacle. Yeah. Come on. Now you want to be tough? Yeah. Now it wants to be tough. You were napping a little bit too easy earlier. Yeah, like that. What's so hard about that? So the inconsistencies in the material are messing me up a little bit, but they're both easy to nap. The lighter and the darker areas are both easy to nap. They're just messing me up a little bit with the inconsistency. Yeah. Okay. I'm working on the symmetry right now. I want to make sure I don't install a curve. Because I'll be taking off some pretty substantial flakes that can cause a curve to develop. I got to make sure I keep an eye on the whole thing. If I'm going to put a really big flake in there, I got to make sure that that's actually a raised spot. If I remove a big flake from a flat spot, it causes a curve. Got to make sure that's a raised spot, so everything else has to go away on the other side before I take that one off. Okay. And it's already causing a loss of material from this edge. See that? I'm trying to get closer to this obstacle because this obstacle seems to be very stubborn right here, this whole area. So I have to get close to it to blast through there. Hopefully that'll work. We'll see. Yeah, okay. So it did it. You can't see the beginning of the flake, or you can't see anything. So I was able to blast through it. So I've got to be that careful with everything, it looks like. Yeah. What time is it? 9:58. Let's see who is Ross Wellman is here. Red Wings on the other channel. Hey, Ron is here. Hey, howdy nappers. Did I miss anything? Yeah. The first 2 hours. Hey, Ron says, I hope y'all are doing well. Yes, yes. Hey, Ron. Are you saying that to be funny, or do you don't realize that it's already over almost? I'm still getting cracklings on the edge. Yeah. I just removed a lot of cracklings and then I installed another one. It's easy to nap. It should be cooperating. It doesn't seem to like to cooperate. No. And this is raw stuff too. Maybe that's my excuse. It's just raw stone, dude. Yeah. How thin is it? Well, it's starting to get thin, but I'm taking away a lot of that lighter color area. A lot of that lighter color area is going away because I'm having trouble flaking it without stepping it. Let's see. You missed the recipe for the golden pitch. Yeah. Gonna have to watch it from the beginning. Gonna have to watch the live stream from the beginning. Right, right. No, I don't want to. I'm gonna watch. I get it reviewed by video, so if I have to watch it, you got to watch it. Yeah. I got to make sure the microphone is working okay. I had to switch it around. Now it's on backwards. It hasn't fallen off yet, but it feels like it's gonna fall off the back of my head. Luckily, not. Yeah. That's all I need is to break the microphone. Add to my list of unexpected expenses that I've had all week. Mm-hmm. Are we there yet? Yeah, it's already past 10, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going for a little while longer. I need to thin this down some more. Just because. Just out of principle. Yeah. What principle is that? The principle of trying to improve it, because I don't know if I can get a better ratio than Sal got. But I'll try it. Dude, just cheat. Just make it really thin from the base and then measure that. Yeah, make it really thin down here on the base and then measure across there. And then right where you make it really, really thin, it'll be better than 7-1. You can cheat. Yeah. Yeah. I can cheat and win. Yeah. Because winning is what's important. Yeah. I've been watching too many other live streams of other topics besides Flintknapping or even bushcraft, right? There's hardly any live streams on bushcraft. I don't know. Maybe I'm not looking in the right spot. But anyway, there's a bunch of them on current events and stuff. Current news and events and trends on social media. My goodness. It's just a make-believe world on social media, and people are creating all kinds of content, and people are going, "Ooh, goody! We get to watch the crazies and participate in these narratives that don't exist." Yummy, yummy. Give me more. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Let's watch another crazy person. Yeah, besides me, I guess. On these other live streams, they talk about the crazy people. Maybe that's what I should do. Just focus on that. And then badmouth my people in my chat. No. Okay, come on. Okay, that's the way you should do it. Yeah, all right. Now you go. Now you're doing it. Now you're cooking with gas. I don't know, Sal. Sometimes this likes to nap and sometimes it doesn't. It's a strange one. Yeah. I'm gonna try to thin it. See, who do we got? Who came in the last minute? Lee Steinmeier. Sleep tight, Mary. Okay, Mary's leaving. Johnny Warning is here. Hello. Good to see you. Let's see. Who else? Who else? Who else? We're going into overtime. Yes, we're 5 minutes into overtime. All right. Let's see if I can get this down. Yes. I might win. I might win. If that keeps up. We'll see. Okay, yes. All right. It's a moment of truth. I'm going to see if I got better odds than or a better ratio than 7.5 to 1. Sal had 7.5 to 1 ratio on this when he said it to me. Okay? I made it smaller and I tried to get it thinner. I wasn't completely successful up to this point about getting rid of all the step fractures. But hopefully I got it thinner. Let me try to get that one step fracture out before I do the ratio. See, as you reduce the width, the ratio suffers. Let me try to get that step fracture out. I reduced the width quite a bit, actually. So unless I thin it every time I reduce width, it doesn't do any good as far as the ratio goes. All right, so I got rid of that step fracture at the bottom there. Still kind of crunchy. I probably would not thin it any more than that. There's one spot that I could try for. 10:07. Yeah, we're 7 minutes into overtime. Oh well. That was a hard strike and only got a little bitty flake. But that's my last chance. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Let's see what the ratio is. Where is it? Where do I measure it? Approximately the same proportioned area. Just a little bit above the middle. Above the bottom. So I got 56. And right there where I measured 56 millimeters, it is. I can't see. $56 across by, I think that's 6. Yeah, 6 millimeter. $56 divided by 6? Are you sure? Let's 55. 55 divided by 6. 9 to 1. I did it. I win. It's 9 to 1. Haha. Okay. But it's really crackly and it was challenging. Yeah. I hate that this lighting doesn't allow us to see it clearly when I move it fast. It's still crackly on the surface. That surface came out okay on this side. But this one I'll have to try to pressure flake inward to clean that out. Because it's going to develop a little island in the middle if I don't run some long flakes. I can try to run long flakes with pressure, heavy pressure, and see how that works. If not, I'll have to do some more percussion work. Where is it? On this side. It was going okay up here until I reached the most important area, and then it step fractured, and I went, uh-oh, right there, step fractured right there. I went, uh-oh, and then a step fracture down here. So I might not be able to clean that out of there. I might have to make the base concave, take some more off of here, and run some thinning flakes in from the middle of the base. Anyways, who do we miss? Looks fine like that, Sal says. Alrighty. Let's see. R. Snyder says, hey, I thought we were your friends. Yes, you thought properly. I was talking about, I don't know, maybe I missed something in the chat. I was talking about watching other channels. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think there might have been a conversation going on here that I missed. Okay, so Sal just started on this with a bopper and not indirect percussion. So he got 7.5 to 1 with the thickness ratio with just a bopper. That's pretty good. Yeah, usually I'm like 4 to 1 to 5 to 1 with the bopper. Yeah. That's excellent to get the ratio like that with a bopper. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. Yep. I'm gonna end the live stream here pretty soon. Lee says, night, y'all. This flake is turning in. Yep, I'm gonna be turning in very soon too. Mike Mason says, okay, thank you, Patrick. You're welcome. Sal says, one of the first rocks I got from Keith. All righty, very cool. Flakes Card says, hats off to both of you. Thank you. Adios, says Alan. Jim Main says, thanks for the live tonight. Good night, all. Yeah, thank you very much. Good to see everybody. The next live stream, it's today, Friday. Monday's the next live stream. Yeah. I'll be napping all day tomorrow and Sunday and part of Monday, so I can upload videos during those days. I did some napping earlier. I did some napping yesterday. I just didn't film any of it. I didn't feel like it. No. It's just same old bifacing. I'm gonna try to do some rock to point videos tomorrow. Yeah. Or at least one rock to point video tomorrow with one of these other ones. I don't want to use this one. I'm gonna heat treat that one. Maybe I'll do a rock to point video with this. This one would make a nice Kerrville knife, a hand axe, because it has that rounded top portion, and I can make this pointed. Maybe I won't do that one. A rock to point out of this one with square edges. Yeah, I can do this on video, or a video series on this one. Rock to point video series on this one. This is a Pedernales type Central Texas chert, but it's very blocky, very square edged. So I'm going to save this one. Yeah. Or I can do like a flake to point using the green bloodstone. So it's either this or maybe both. Maybe video on each one. And I'm going to break into that mookite. Let me put that there. I'm going to break into this, take a chunk off of this mookite. Yeah. And then maybe I'll nap that on video too. Yeah. All righty. Beauty. Look at that. That's awesome. Okay. Oops. Let's see. I don't need these to to look at the computer. All right, everybody. Everybody's saying good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.